On my cover, contents and double page spread, I've used 5 different fonts that fit the hip-hop genre as they are modern, rebellious, edgy and masculine. I've kept all fonts in white and red to fit genre conventions and represent my audience. Red and white work against the black backgrounds and connote the magazine fits Osgobee's 1998 stereotype of youths being trouble and fun, as white is a pure colour that represents fun and red is a rebellious colour that represents violence and sex, which could be linked to trouble and the hip-hop genre that often refers to sex and violence in the lyrics. The length of the teasers on the cover and contents page represent the audience, as I have kept them short to represent males who do not want to read too much. The lexis of the cover, contents and double page spread represent the audience and the genre, as I have used words from the semantic field of hip-hop as the majority of words and slang terms. Informal language linked to music and hip-hop artists' names. On my double page spread, my artist is young and talks about how he got into hip-hop and how it changed his whole life. This shows my audience that no matter what your background is and what your life is like, everyone has a chance to make a name for themselves and achieve something for their life. This prevents people from thinking the stereotypical thought that all hip-hop artists are troublemakers, as this star has turned his life around. This fits Gandalf's rags to riches theory and represents the audience who want to think they can become rich and famous too. Making the feature story about a white artist challenges hip-hop stereotypes and conventions and may help with the issue of racism, as black people reading the magazine may see that hip-hop doesn't just have to be about black artists, and show some white fans that they are being represented by the magazine and genre. Just like all magazines, my cover needed to have a barcode, issue number and release date. From researching professional covers, I noticed that the barcode was normally positioned in the bottom right corner and the issue, price and date would go above the barcode in small fonts. I followed this convention to make my cover look professional. I did challenge conventions of the print art genre slightly by choosing to include social media information near the barcode to encourage readers to check out the online promotion and online products that link to the brand. Not all magazines do this, maybe because they are scared of losing readers who would just go online for free as opposed to purchasing the print version. I thought it was important to put online information, as in the modern world most young people in the target audience want digital versions, and it is important to show the audience this brand can reflect that need. How does your media product represent particular social groups? Overall, I think I have creatively followed genre conventions to make my media language successfully represent my target audience of black males who have grown up in rough areas, who aspire, persistent and want to learn more about hip-hop. I also think by using some white artists, I have shown that my magazine has a modern view on hip-hop and understands that the genre needs to be more inclusive to challenge stereotypes. I hope that my magazine will change people's opinion on black culture and show other cultures that the black culture and hip-hop have changed and gone a long way from what it used to be. I would not change anything about my media language, as I think I've got it right for my audience and feel my products all look professional. One thing I will work on next year is my photography skills, as I think I still have a lot to learn about SLR cameras and mise-en-scène. What kind of media institution might distribute your media products and why? I felt I did not want to go with a massive institution. I would choose to be an independent music magazine publisher and distributor like the magazine The Wire. It is an independent magazine run by a small, dedicated team of full-time staff and has a group of over 60 freelance writers around the world. The Wire allows readers to have a digital version of the magazine, but it is also available on print. The company have a monthly circulation of 20,000 people and a subscriber database of 9,000 people, which just goes to show you can make it on your own without a massive institution. However, if you want higher circulation figures like I do, then it is probably safer to go with an experienced distributor. There are a number of distributors I could consider for my magazine, including Bauer Media, Prometheus and the North Star Group. Bauer is Europe's largest privately owned publishing group, and it successfully distributes the most popular music magazine Q Magazine, Mojo and Crime. All three of these top titles appeal more to male readers and have decent distribution figures that could make Bauer a safe choice for my distribution company. Prometheus is a newer company that was formed in December of 2009. Prometheus owns and operates a number of major entertainment industries trade publications as their associated digital properties, including Adweek, Backstage, Billboard and many more, which show they have experience in the music magazine industry. Even though I think Bauer and Prometheus could offer my magazine a lot, I think the institution I would go with will be the North Star Group and the publisher will be London Macmillan. I have chosen him to publish my magazine as he currently publishes The Source, which is one of the biggest selling hip hop magazines. Macmillan was born in 1966, who persuaded a law career at the New York University School of Law. After undergraduating from Berkeley Technical High School in 1983, Macmillan is the current owner and group publisher of the North Star Group, who publishes Jones Magazine and The Source. Apart from being the publisher for the Source, he is also an attorney and a producer. The North Star Group currently have a circulation of 300,000 and a readership of 1.5 million people, which is something I would like to tap into. What have you learned about technologies from the process of constructing this product? When planning, producing and exhibiting my products, I had to learn how to use a variety of technologies to make my work look professional and appealing to my audience. To present my work, I had to use a number of different programs, including Blogger, PowerPoint, SurveyMonkey, Facebook and YouTube. Some of these I had used before, but throughout the project I had to learn about new ways of doing things. For example, on Blogger I had to learn how to upload posts, editing text, add images and change backgrounds to make my planning look presentable and creative. I also had to learn how to upload a PowerPoint to Blogger through first uploading it on Google Drive to get a shareable link and before uploading it onto Blogger. I had to learn how to use the new version of SurveyMonkey to conduct my audience research and had to work out how to share my survey link on Facebook to get the survey out to the right people. At GCSE I had used SurveyMonkey but had not shared it through social media before and had not used the updated version of the program. To present this evaluation I had to learn how to create a YouTube channel and upload this video. The good thing about these online programs is that it means my planning, products and evaluation can research a real audience, which is an example of Plunkett's 2008 theory that a new generation of UK media power players are ditching their traditional gatekeepers and going straight to the audience via the web. During the production stages I learned how to make my images using a Canon 5D Mark III in a studio with professional lights and a black or white background depending on what I wanted. I had never used this professional camera before, as at GCSE we only had access to the semi-pro camera, the Canon 600D. The main things I learned were how to shoot in RAW, which made images more professional and easy to edit, how to perfect the studio lighting, how to shoot using manual settings for aperture and focus. I did not find this easy to start with, and my first shoot had a lot of images that were too dark or too light. I also learned how to use the Canon 5D for filming this evaluation. During the post-production stage, I got to develop my Photoshop skills and got to learn how to use InDesign for my main products and iMovie for editing this evaluation. Regarding Photoshop, the main new things I learned were how to use the spot healing tool, eraser and the magic wand tool, and how to use filters to get the right lighting effects for my genre. Once I had all my images how I wanted them, I used InDesign to add the text to get the layout looking professional. I found adding image text and columns straightforward, but had to download the right fonts for the genre, as the fonts available with the program were boring and limited. With iMovie, I learned how to add, trim and cut clips and learned how to blue screen to make images appear behind the subject. I found this interesting and would like to learn more about film editing next year, as it is not something I have done much of. Looking back at your preliminary task, what do you feel you have learnt in the progression from it to the full product. From my preliminary task, I had to produce the front cover of a new school, college magazine featuring a photograph of a student in medium close-up plus some appropriately laid out text and a masthead. I also had to produce a mock-up of the layout for the contents page. Behind me is an image of the final products of my preliminary task. It is very clear to see that my final products of my main task look much better than these early products. Looking at my prelim task and content now, I can see clearly that my planning, research, photography and editing skills have come a long way. Now I can see that I did not spend enough time on the prelim task in terms of planning or production, as there are many faults with both the cover and contents page. The first problem that stands out is the fact that the images don't look professional and the cropping of the main image is done to a poor standard. Secondly, the red on the front cover is a brighter red to the one on the contents page, and this makes the magazine look not so professional and not tidy. Thirdly, on both pages it is clear to see that the masthead of the magazine and contents page are not the same size and are placed in a different place. This also makes it look unprofessional and untidy, but also the masthead should be bigger than the contents page, as the masthead is more important because of the fact it's on the front cover. Finally, there is nowhere near as much detail and information as there is on my hip hop magazine. Overall, looking back at my preliminary task, I can see how much work has changed and how it has improved. Due to this, it is clear to see how my skills have improved and how those improvements have helped to create a much better finished product than my preliminary task work. I think that I've learnt how to present my work in a more professional way and have learned a lot about how to work with models to get the best results from my images. I am glad I have learned from the mistakes of my prelim task and now want to keep improving, so in the future my work will just get better and better. I also think that through completing this foundation portfolio, my editing skills have improved a lot, so in the future I will find it easier to edit and be able to do it a lot quicker.